So, a fresh new week has arrived, and here on this channel, that means one thing and one thing only. I usually post the videos for this series every weekend, so I realize that I'm a day late, but we're here now, better late than never, and this is the series where I turn to you, the viewers, to give me your hottest NBA takes of the week based on what's going on at the time, and I then choose my favorite submissions and discuss them in a video. This week, the first round of the playoffs have provided so much intrigue in pretty much every series. We've already seen our first team stamp their ticket to the second round, and tons of quality performances happen nightly, so of course we have plenty to discuss. In order to submit your takes, I make a community post on either the day of or the day before the video, similar to the one that you see on your screen now, so if you want a chance to be featured in a future episode, be sure to stay on the lookout for that. Before we start though, I want to thank the sponsor of today's video, PrizePicks. As the 2023 NBA playoffs continue on, PrizePicks is the best and easiest way to play daily fantasy to stay engaged on all of the excitement. All you have to do is pick between 2 and 6 players and the over or under on their projections, and you can win up to 20 times your original entry. Plus, PrizePicks is coming in hot with a new promotion where every single day during the NBA playoffs, one user will win a chance to become a millionaire. How it works is that one entry placed after 8 AM every day will be randomly selected, then whoever gets selected will be given a 6-pick flex where the payouts include winning $1 million if all 6 hit, $80,000 if 5 of them hit, and $16,000 if 4 hit, so you still have plenty of time to get in on the action for your chance to potentially be chosen. By going down to the link in the description of this video and using promo code REFERENCE when you sign up, you also get a deposit match bonus of up to $100. Once again, thank you to PrizePicks for sponsoring today's video. Now let's get back to the topic at hand. The first take we'll be discussing today comes to us from Shoops, and he says that if the Clippers end up losing this series against the Suns, which is how it's looking at the moment, then we're witnessing the end of the Kawhi Leonard, Paul George era for them. Ever since that 2019 championship run Kawhi Leonard had with the Raptors, he just can't seem to catch a break. His health has been at the forefront of a lot of the team's shortcomings over the years, and while the duo always sparks such a promising outlook, they just haven't ever been able to put it all together when it has mattered. In their first year together, they suffered a demoralizing choke job in the bubble playoffs after being up 3-1 in the series against the Denver Nuggets, and honestly, that was probably the year where they were best set up to go all the way. After that run, we've seen Kawhi Leonard suffer an injury midway through the 2021 playoffs, and even though the team did make the conference finals that year, they did so without Leonard because of that injury, and had he been healthy, they may have been able to defeat the Suns and go to the finals that series because they still took the Suns 6 games without him. Then, the year after that, Kawhi missed the entire season due to recovery from that injury, and now here we are in season number 4 of the partnership, and once again, Kawhi has suffered an unfortunately timed injury in the playoffs, pretty much killing any chance the team had of advancing because Paul George is also out due to injury at the moment. They're about to go down as one of the biggest what-if duos in NBA history, but I will say that I don't think we've quite reached the finish line for these two together yet. They're both still under contract for one more season, so I feel pretty confident that they're going to ride out the end of their contracts. Then they each have a player option to potentially come back for one more year after that. The entirety of the Clippers roster is also still under contract for next season, except for Russell Westbrook and Mason Plumlee, so they will still need to address the point guard position, but ultimately they have one more chance to accomplish what they set out to do when they teamed up. Patience is running thin, but I can't help but feel bad about their luck because injuries tend to be unavoidable, so when they happen constantly to the same guy, there's just not much you can do about it. The next take we'll be discussing today comes to us from and he says that the 76ers will once again not make it past the second round of the playoffs this year because James Harden is no longer able to take games over like he used to. The Sixers were the only team to sweep their opponent in the first round, so there's a lot of positives to take away from their performances so far. However, I definitely have to acknowledge that there's something very worrying about James Harden right now. Overall, he was objectively good in quite a few areas areas so far. He shot 42% from 3 in the series, stretching the floor with his patented step-back 3. He averaged about 9 assists in the series, with 2 games where he dished out 13 assists and 11 assists respectively, and he's been a strong leader early on, but the one thing that is definitely concerning right now is his finishing ability. The injuries to his Achilles that he's endured have notably slowed him down a little bit compared to his prime, but he was still doing a decent enough job getting by his defenders and getting to the rim in the series. The problem, though, was the fact that his touch around the basket has been nothing short of dreadful. On 2-point shots in this series, most of which have come in the paint or around the basket, by game he has shot 1 for 8 on 2s, then 1 for 5 on 2s, then 5 for 8 from 2-point range, and then finally in the last game he shot 2 of 13 from 2-point range. Harden's 3-ball comes and goes, so it's not good enough to rely on that part of his game to be effective, and if the Sixers are going to have any chance of beating the Boston Celtics in the next round, they are absolutely going to need Harden to be able to capitalize on his looks in the paint. He's been blowing layups, his floater has not been falling, and admittedly, there have been quite a few plays where he's been fouled without it being called, but that's not an excuse for this. Joel Embiid suffered a minor knee sprain, but all reports are saying that he'll be good to go for the next series, and both Tobias Harris and Tyrese Maxey have been balling out thus far. The team got away with poor finishing nights against Brooklyn and still won, but I wouldn't count on the same being possible against arguably the favorites to win it all in Boston. And finally, the last take we'll be discussing today comes to us from Ackerman, and he says that the Timberwolves are going to have to trade Karl Anthony Towns and build around Anthony Edwards because, as currently constructed, the team is just too mediocre. The Timberwolves are in such a tough spot right now. Towns has been the face of the franchise since he's been drafted, and has been very good over the years offensively. They haven't found any playoff success during his tenure though, still with 0 playoff series wins, and now that they have Gobert on the team, things become even tougher. Anyone with eyes can see that the Towns-Gobert partnership in the front court doesn't work well enough to continue forward with, but the issue is that nobody is going to want Rudy Gobert's contract due to the fact that he's being paid so much money, so the team is probably stuck with him. Anthony Edwards is one of the brightest young stars at the guard position, and as the original take states, Towns still has plenty of value around the league, so I'd be lying if I said that I didn't agree with this idea. It's going to hurt to hear for some Wolves fans because Towns is such a good guy and he's an obvious fan favorite there, but they really don't have many other viable options for them to improve. Towns would be able to draw multiple draft picks in an offer along with a few productive players to add to their rotation, and that would both help them balance out their current lineup and set themselves up for better future opportunities. Edwards is ready to take control of this team. The front office just has to accept it. And with that being said, that's all I have for you today. Make sure to like the video, subscribe to the channel, and comment down below what you think about the takes we discussed. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you all next time.